Mulligan.
All right, we're recording.
Pudding.
Hold me back.
All right, well, welcome to the Meeple People podcast. We have with us Rob.
Yes, Rob is I. We gotta stop saying my name. It takes my whole introduction away.
All right, fine. Hold on. Ready? Let's reverse. But that never happened.
Okay.
Hey, what's up? We're the Meeple People. I'm Anthony.
I'm Rob.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Joe.
And I don't know why Joe's here because we're going to talk about something that Joe wasn't a part of. We're going to be talking about PAX Unplugged.
PAX
today.
Unplugged.
Sad times.
Three of us were there. One of us was not there, doing
times.
something that wasn't what we were doing.
And then the other two. that
Being
are-
jealous most of the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mainly. And then the other two that are part of our group, they
don't
were
know
somewhere
what
else.
they
I don't
were.
know.
I don't even know if they were working. Probably just literally doing nothing.
Yeah,
Wasting away. That's all right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Next
Taking
time.
up
Next time.
space.
Essentially. So we got a ton of games
Yeah.
at PAX. We spent, well, me and Rob
Malone.
spent way too
many
much
dollars. Many hairs of
And-
balls.
Dollar.
On top of spending money, we made some friends with a lot of the companies there. So we're finally getting the ball rolling, guys. We're going to get you guys some really good content coming up soon, it looks.
Will you fall asleep halfway through that sentence?
Yeah.
It looked like it.
I don't know. I rested my head on my hand.
He was
and-
daydreaming
made
of all the
some
great
real-
content we're going to come out with.
He was dreaming about all his new friends. It's like a creepy
I
guy
was,
in the
I don't
corner.
know. I just
My God, you're so
talk
wonderful.
in and then it's just.
Yeah, he was fascinating.
But yeah, we made a lot of friends out there. We got a lot of contacts. We exchanged business cards like adults,
got
and,
some raw deals.
and we did get some raw deals. And we are going to be bringing you guys a lot of content in the upcoming weeks. It's going to be insane. So first things first, we got to PAX, and the first thing we did, we literally walked in the door, and we were greeted by the board game pinup girl. If you guys have checked out, she usually does a podcast with the Dice
With
Tower,
the Dice Tower.
Yeah.
and she's pretty popular on social media, and she's just like, you guys need to check out Pie Town. So we're like, Pie Town?
Town.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I guess we're gonna play Pie
I
Town.
was like, we'll
That was
start
it,
adorable and strong.
Can never go wrong with pie.
That was at the Renegade booth, right?
Yeah, the Renegade booth.
Yeah.
Renegade, we love you guys. Renegade loves us.
Mhm.
We mingle together on Instagram,
Instagram,
a lot. A lot.
They talked to us.
Yeah, we converse. It's crazy. But Pie Town's pretty sweet. Every game, so just going to point it out there, every game that we talk about today, we will be doing a full review of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's going to be coming up in the upcoming weeks. So throughout December, you are going to get flooded.
Yeah, we're going to be filming a lot in the next 2-3 weeks.
Yep, and
We'd
if
be
you
filming-
don't,
we'd
if
film
you don't
this
like
week.
it, then sorry.
We would have filmed already if it
Still,
wasn't
just don't hit unsubscribe. Just stay subscribed. Just
if it wasn't Thanksgiving.
sorry.
If it wasn't Thanksgiving. Or
Yeah, if it was, if
Yeah.
it wasn't Thanksgiving, because we're recording this on
Thanksgiving
the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Friendsgivings and all that.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were really busy after we got back, and yeah, so in the next couple weeks we're gonna be giving you a lot of content. So if we can, all right, so let's just like spin off all the games that we got, and then we'll just talk about them.
And then we can go through our PAX adventures.
Our PAX advent, yeah, we did have a few adventures at
Yeah, we have
PAX.
PAX adventures.
All right,
I mean,
so
you started out with the PAX adventure and you just stopped right in the beginning of it. You're like, oh, we met, and then we went to the Renegade booth, and then you just forget that story.
Yep, we'll get back to that. Sorry. All right, so let's see. We have 878 Vikings. We have all right, so 878 Vikings from
game.
Academy Games. We
Yep.
have Attack of the Kaiju from Wildfire Games. We have The Refuge, a Race for Survival from B&B Games. We have an expansion for the game Gruff. We have One Deck Dungeon. Who put out One Deck Dungeon, Throne?
I forget who actually made that game.
Yeah, I mean it's something with an A, I think.
Asmodee.
It is Asmodee.
It's
Asmodee?
Asmodee.
Yeah,
I was
Asmodee.
just say I think it was at the
Asmodee
CMON
Games.
booth.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Asmodee.
Asmodee.
hate
Oh,
you.
And this is why Joe doesn't get to talk all
He
the
made it
time.
all fancy.
This is why he
though.
doesn't. This is why he didn't go to PAX with us.
yeah.
It
It's
wasn't
Asmodee
fun.
games.
He's gonna go up to one. He's gonna go up to one
You
booth
got-
and
you
say,
got-
"Oh, hey, how's it going?" It's gonna be a different company.
You guys really need to change that name because it's really close to Asmodee.
It's,
Sure,
no,
that's why they
because
should do it,
Asmodee has an E and an O, and that has an A and an I.
Well, I don't have my glasses, so don't judge me.
This close.
What
Alright,
else
so
do we get? We
got One Deck Dungeon by Asmati Games.
Mm-hmm.
We have Red Dragon Inn Battle for Greyport by Slugfest Games.
Slugfest.
Game
Love
is
it.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We already talked about Pie Town. We got Arcane Academy by IDW and 3WS. We also have Weave. I'm not sure what the name of the publisher was, but Weave is this crazy RPG where everyone uses their smartphone and everything's saved on a cloud server. It's pretty wild.
On top of those games, we demoed a lot of games too.
Yeah, we demoed a lot of games. We have we do have Dragonfire. We didn't pick it up at PAX. We got an early copy of it, but we're going to give you a full review on that. And Catalyst thoroughly enjoyed our company when we did that review.
Yeah.
Well, not that demo that we did. They enjoyed us a lot.
They were swell young chaps.
To the point where they actually want to interview us about the game once we play it, which is awesome.
Joe, you weren't there.
I know, but I'm actually really
Joe's
excited
just like
about
Joe's
that.
like, you know what?
He's
I
like,
can't
I
wait
need
to be
to be-
interviewed.
I'd be like, I
cannot
literally
wait.
wasn't there, but hey, I'm here. Like,
Joe's like, I need to be part of this.
yes, yes.
Yes, we do have Dragonfire. I also picked up the Kickstarter exclusive box for Champions of Midgard that comes with the 2 expansions and the giant playmat that's being used as a pad for our mixer board and laptop right now because it's massive. We also
I
got a
prefer
bunch
the
of
878 Viking.
for 878 Vikings. We have a
whole map of
it's like a
England.
3-foot map of England.
Yeah. It's amazing. I would do everything on this, man. Everything.
So
Pillage and burn, Viking style.
all right. So
Oh, we also talked to some companies outside that didn't make games. We talked to who was it? Jordan, you got the cards over there?
Yeah, we talked to the Gamer Mats, that company with all the mats playing for Magic and everything. So it was pretty impressive. I was so hyped when I fucking saw them, especially when I saw that one mat that was literally the size of I don't even. It was like it should have been like a rug. It was
yeah,
just
they
so
had
big.
playmats that were like roughly like 9 feet long. It looked like that you could put it underneath a table instead of on it.
It was like there was one was 72 by 72 or something
It
like
was
that.
massive. I could have
6
put it
feet
on
by
this.
It's
6
crazy.
feet.
They had mats specifically made for X-wing and Armada. Like they had 3x6 mats, which is wild.
4x4. All the
It like
sizes.
enhance a lot of like tabletop gaming with those mats. I fucking love them.
Oh, absolutely, because you can use them for
Anything.
almost anything.
Yeah.
Did you have
Warhammer.
Did you have like just strictly like terrain based like?
Yeah.
No, they had like terrain based, but then they also had just like strictly like it looked like a Starfield. So
That's
like
cool.
X-wing and Armada.
That's cool.
They had
Even
like
if-
atmosphere stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some like
That's pretty
abstract art and all. It was
They
wild.
could print
And
anything.
And
Yeah.
they're one of the very few companies, and they pointed this out to us. They're one of the very few companies that do the etched sidings
Oh my god, yeah.
on the playmat, like a
They do
really
the-
thick siding.
Didn't they say they do the playmats? Is the playmats for the GPs? I think they do
Yeah,
for
they
the
did
Magic
the GP
GPs,
playmats for
playmats
Magic
as
the
well.
Gathering,
which
That's
is a
pretty
which is
awesome.
a pretty big
which is
deal.
exposure enough.
Yeah.
But that company is.
Saron was
They-
fanboying.
I was freaking gushing all over them, and he even told me you get to like upload like your own custom image if you're an artist or whatever, and then give it a shot. And I was like, I could draw and everything. I gave it a shot, mess it around,
Mess
and
around.
like submit one, see if it takes off.
Match by Saron. C&C match.
CNC Mats, Throne and Co.
That'd be pretty legit.
Not
we
to be,
talked
not
to a
to be
lot-
mixed up with C&C Cola.
You could do them.
Hate you. And if you're gonna drink CNC cola, make sure it's pineapple because every other flavor is useless.
They do have, yeah, don't, if you're going to drink C&C, don't drink a flavor that's made by another company.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Don't drink
Don't-
cola. You can just get Coke.
Remember that one
Get
time
one
we
of
went
those,
to
like,
we went to
pineapple
Walmart
sodas.
and we bought like that off-brand Mountain Dew and off-brand like Dr Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And we-
Shasta,
It was like
Shasta.
it was
Shasta cola.
Shasta Cola, and it was the other one. It was like about like a wizard or something.
No, lightning.
It was
No, it
lightning.
was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Liquid lightning or something.
I said-
That's energy.
I
They're
called
at
it
my-
wizard juice.
They're at my house still. Both of those
Really?
bottles, yeah.
That was
Just
months ago.
It's like Mountain Thunder and something.
Yeah, Mount
I
Thunder. That,
remember it. They
that's-
were ridiculous.
that stuff's probably flat as anything now.
Listen, it's not there because I'm going to drink it.
It's just there for the memories.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I can look at it and be like, yes, I own this.
All right, so
I own this memory.
so on top of talking to all those game companies, and then there were a handful of other companies that we talked to. There was what was the name of the people that had the custom tokens for Magic and other card games? They had 3D
you have a card?
tokens.
I have one somewhere. I'm going to look for a second. Continue on.
They were pretty cool. They were like
You weren't there.
no, but I saw them. They're cool. They're like 3D, like they're all pixelized and stuff. But they have like
Yeah, when
like,
you like move them, it's like the little screen that flips and stuff.
Yeah, like a
back and
holographic
forth.
animated.
Yeah, holographic animations.
That was really, they were pretty trippy. I like, especially the stick
Yeah,
figures.
it's
They
not
had
new.
a lot more. They had very smooth animation.
Yeah, the stick figures
Yeah,
are
Oh, yeah.
very.
Stick figures and those hyper cartoony ones.
Yeah, the
Like
the
the cat
cartoony
and the
ones are
dragon.
fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the elf ones. So I was like, yo, I need those for my pauper deck.
Yeah, but your pauper deck's not even finished.
I know.
Yeah, you shouldn't buy tokens for a deck you don't even have the cards
Imagine
for.
being
I
so
know.
poor you
can't
can't finish a pauper deck.
That's
Yeah,
me.
Your whole deck is like $23.
I know. So I'm still trying to finish out this Titan Shift deck that I just finally got the mana
See,
base.
I
for.
have to work 45 minutes to finish your pauper deck.
I have to work at least half a year to finish that thing off because my
Joe-
job's a joke.
Joe, you could not buy one Primeval Titan and buy your entire pauper deck.
Yeah, it's bad.
You can just
I
not
mean-
buy scape. You cannot buy
Yeah,
the
I
4 scape shifts that you need.
That's $205 right there.
Damn.
That's half a paycheck. Is that I get
How
like
do you
$150 a
divide
paycheck? My last
$205
joke.
by 4, Joe? Are they $51 and 1/4 each?
$51. That was the max.
51 and 1/4.
That was the max. I think they're down to 45 now, but like some places have them for like other prices.
Oh man.
But
Anyway,
That's sad.
yeah,
it's real
Magic
bad.
is a whole other beast. But those are games that we actually own,
Mm-hmm.
and then there are games that we played and don't own. And now I guess all that's left is just the actual stuff we did at PAX.
Yeah.
and the
So,
stuff we didn't do at PAX.
well, we can talk about
And
things that we
let's
liked.
count RPGs because I got many.
There's a
RPGs.
bunch of things that we loved about PAX, and then there's also things that some of us didn't like about PAX. Like me personally, I think the one thing that PAX did wrong was
Scheduling.
the scheduling. The time they did like the weekend that they did PAX was the worst weekend they could actually do PAX.
Yeah.
It's the weekend before Thanksgiving, so people are already going to have travel plans. On top of that, BGG Con is going on, which is huge. It's Board Game Geek. Come on.
Never heard of them.
Yeah.
Who?
Who knows who Board Game Geek is?
Who are they? I
don't know.
have no idea.
Crazy.
Poor things.
They made-
On top of that, SteamCon was going on in the UK. That's why
Yeah.
Steamforged
had one guy
had one lonely man working their booth and about a handful
no-
of product.
with no announcements because
Yeah.
all the announcements were across the ocean at their own convention.
Yep, talking about the
Yeah,
Dark
the new
Souls
Dark
card
Souls
game, which
friggin-
we're going to save our anger about
Not gonna
that
go
for
on
another
that.
time because that's a personal thing that's not going to go on the podcast.
Someday,
Why?
someday we'll
What
get him as a
We're
guest.
going to air out our grievances about
Someday I'm
that
gonna
one day.
Skype him.
But we are going to buy
We have a set of skills. We
are
will
going
find
to
you.
buy that game and play the
And we
hell
will
out
yell
of it
at you.
anyway.
Of course.
But yeah, the timing of PAX was the worst thing about PAX. But other than that,
And in Philadelphia itself, that convention hall had another convention in it.
and then
Yes,
and
the
then day
marathon.
2 there was a marathon.
And then there
going
was a
on
marathon.
in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia,
Yeah.
the Philadelphia Marathon was there at that same
Jeez.
time.
Hey, at
past
least
the convention
at least it
center.
wasn't as bad as when they tried to do that Dragonborn tournament that you and Dan attempted to go to when it was literally on the same weekend of Comic Con, and literally it was in Jersey, but they called it New York because you know
Well, we always get
we
that.
are irrelevant.
Yeah.
But like literally, there were 18 people there because everyone was at
Yeah.
Everyone was at
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.
Bad
Yeah.
scheduling is like. I mean, to be fair, PAX.
Like they did sell out
It
on
was good,
Saturday,
yeah.
and they were running low on.
It was
3-day
not a
passes,
bad
which is
convention.
good, and especially because it's their first. It's the first time they did something like
Yeah.
this. Because PAX is mainly for video
Video
games,
games.
and I've been to
I
PAX.
mean, PAX
East.
is Penny Arcade Expo. Penny
Yeah, and
Arcade games.
I've been
Cindy.
to PAX East, and another thing that I think they need to get rid of, not with PAX in general, but with PAX Unplugged, is the queue room.
Oh,
The
wow.
lines you have to like go into.
You have to
before
go
can
into
go
like
into
separate
them.
line, like they herd you like cattle
into squares.
into little squares, and then they let a square out
At a
every 10
time.
minutes. It's
Yeah.
for what?
It's like
For,
this
to
square
get into the
goes.
expo hall.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know how at Gen Con you just kind of crowd up against the doors, survival of the
Yeah.
fittest, you elbow and small children, then you get in first.
Yeah. That's how it
That's
should
how
be.
it should be.
Huh.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't want this everybody wins nonsense.
They sent out a survey thing like, oh, what would you change about PAX Unplugged? And I was honest. I said the queue room and the scheduling. Like,
Being ranched upon. You don't want to be ranched upon.
unless it's with ranch dressing.
Yeah.
That's the only ranching I want.
Ooh, now it's getting a little dirty.
Now I know.
Legalized ranch. Eric Andre.
But no, I mean, overall, I like the convention a lot.
I give the convention a solid 8.5 out of 10.
8.5.
8.5. Minus 0.5 for the queue room, minus 1 for the scheduling.
How many Red Hot hot dogs is that?
A lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
Hot
that's probably why.
Hot dogs.
I mean, there's a lot of things about that con that were good, especially compared to bigger cons like Gen Con and smaller cons.
Well, you can't even compare. That's the thing. We went down
like,
there with a friend of ours that
never
his,
been to a
his
convention.
friends bailed, and he's never been to a convention before.
Or just Chris Cerrone
and
right here.
Cerrone was never. This was your first convention, right?
Yeah, I've never been to Gen Con.
Well, no, like I mean,
But
your first
with
like
PAX.
major gaming. Convention.
Yeah, major one. Yeah,
Like you've only been to things that take place in like small like hotel.
He's wandering around people's houses. and
yeah,
stuff,
pretty
but
much
that's
just Renaissance fairs type stuff.
definitely-
Yeah,
But for what it was great, and I think they can only make it better.
The bathrooms are pretty clean. What do you guys
Bathrooms
think?
are-
oh wow.
Exceptionally clean.
That's always
Yeah.
a plus.
Another thing is it like the vendors like for soda and stuff in the convention center,
Mm-hmm.
not as expensive as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it
Like,
was
it's like
about.
stadium
like-
prices.
It's
like
about
stadium prices.
what I thought.
Like
it was
$4
gonna be.
for a soda.
That was
$5.50.
that's what I was
Not bad.
expecting. Yeah.
$4 for water, $5.50 for soda. I mean, you can't expect good prices.
I mean,
Yeah.
but there were water fountains available.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Which
much
is
where I stayed at.
Like it would have been better. Like it would have been cool
Take
if they did what
myself out of
PAX did and
water
had
fountain.
like the actual water filters throughout the entire
yeah,
thing. And get purified water everywhere you
maybe
go.
a little bit more planning. This convention did not. At least I don't know if it's because I was with fascinatingly good smelling people, like Cerrone, not Monk, because we avoided him like the plague. But but it did not actually smell that bad there. You know how you go to Gen Con, you walk around,
Con crud.
Oh
you get
my
you
God,
get the
the
crazy
dreaded crud.
smells, and you get all that crop dusting happening. You're
Yeah.
walking by like, oh my God, what is
Well,
this?
here's the thing, because PAX wasn't as large scale. Like to be fair, the biggest area for PAX Unplugged was the open gaming area. Was massive.
I mean, the biggest area
Yeah.
for Gen Con is also open gaming area.
Well, it's been like a little bit smaller over the years, but for PAX it was gigantic.
Didn't we get dusted pretty badly when we were at Gen Con looking
Yeah,
at
we
the
did.
looking at the
Everyone gets
RPG
dusted.
books?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
We're
That's what I'm
literally
saying.
like the one small pocket where these RPG books are, which is like, Jesus Christ, what
Yeah.
just hit me in the mouth? I'm like,
Everyone-
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Of
like,
all
everyone,
places.
you get dusted with these bad smells, but it didn't really happen at PAX. It didn't really happen. People were like moderately hygienic.
Yeah,
I was careful where I aimed.
Here's the thing you
Yeah,
got.
I mean,
Here's the
pretty
thing,
much what
I
here's
mean,
the
I
thing
was
that
pretty
people
careful.
should start doing is just take probiotics. You won't have to deal with it.
That's
You won't have to deal with the rumblings in your tummy while you're walking around a convention. Just take probiotics. You'll shit it all out.
you can't even like enunciate probiotics.
probably his
Probiotics.
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 Diabetes.
Get old-fashioned
Yeah, if
diabetes.
you, like I'm probably gonna die today. So we had Texas Roadhouse, and I didn't take my probiotics, so I'm gonna. It's
So
gonna
is
suck.
this some type of weird health podcast?
Yeah.
Right here? Is that what
Yeah.
it's changed into?
You learn about my bowels.
From all the ice cream you sent them in the mail.
Oh yeah,
Still,
No one-
I still haven't gotten.
no one has
It's
sent.
the worst.
Well, number one, we don't have a mailing address, so it's kind of
So it's
impossible.
It's the
impossible.
worst.
So if,
I just want liquid cookies and cream or cookie dough. Either
if
one.
you do want to, if you do want to send
You want
Joe
ice cream?
Yeah.
ice cream, message us on any social media
Or email?
or our email, which is tmp.themeeplepeople@gmail.com. Yeah, Joe wants some ice cream. He needs to feel some kind of love because he
me.
doesn't get it from us nor
That's
his
right.
parents.
We just plugged ourselves in our own podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
We did it.
But we're not plugging any ice cream companies because I haven't gotten any yet.
Yeah, I
so
said it.
If they wanna sponsor us,
Usually.
if you want to sponsor us, say named ice cream company. Well, you know the guy.
God damn it, Joe.
All right.
Anyway,
Joe's
let's
on
go.
Dairy
Joe's
obsession.
about to be like
Yeah.
out of talking tokens,
Yeah, we're gonna.
and we're only 20 minutes in. We have like 30 minutes left, Joe, and you're
You
done
have like
already.
7 words left.
I don't even want to talk about food. I can't.
Done.
I
That's
can't,
it. You
You're
said
out.
more than 7. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know
but
why.
stop.
I don't think you can earn those back either.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't get talking tokens
It's
back.
like
It's like a
an
coin machine
allotment,
that doesn't
yeah.
give you change.
If you submit $20 to me, then I'll give you more time.
I'm broke already.
Well, it's not my problem. So, anyway, back to the original topic of just PAX in general. Back to the original story that started this whole shenanigan, all these I can't even speak anymore, around. We walk in, and then there's a Renegade booth. and it's Pie Town. Hey, you want to play Pie Town? We're all standing there, a bunch of huge dudes. They're like, Pie Town? I've never been more excited in my entire life.
So we sit down at the table, and it's essentially this. It's a picnic table. They had the
Yeah.
checkered.
They actually put a picnic table down for you.
Yeah.
They had like the tablecloth. It looked like we were playing on top of the Croatian flag.
Basically.
I wonder if they have good pies in Croatia.
She explained it pretty
No, they
good,
just
too.
have like bad government. And that's about it.
She explained the game pretty good, too, though, except for Will. Will didn't understand what was going on, apparently.
Yeah, well, I think Will didn't really care much for it, but he eventually got into it.
Come
Like
on,
towards
man.
the
It's
end.
Kind
pies.
of hard to not get into the game, which is crazy because you look at the game, you look at, like when you look at Pie Town, and you're gonna agree with us when you see our review on it. The game looks like it's made for children, but then you look and it goes, "Oh, ages 14 and up."
But it's
Never mind.
adorable, though. It's adorable.
It's adorable. The
Yeah.
artwork is fantastic,
Mm-hmm.
but the game is so heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not light.
It's not light whatsoever.
It's like a thick, rich pie, you could say.
Yeah,
That's
so
how I
it's
like
not
my
like
pies.
it's not like pumpkin pie. It's more like a blueberry pie topped with
Oh,
blue.
that's my
Made
favorite
with
pie.
maybe some
Blueberry.
secret ingredients.
No more food talk. I can't
Yeah,
take
like-
this.
You guys ate. I'm the one that didn't eat anything.
I know. 'Cause we-
Well, you
Oh.
would have. All right, so
I can repeat what I just said
Here's-
before.
here's
No,
another
you
fun
left
story.
it on the park bench.
So we were gonna bring Cerrone leftovers because we all had me, Rob, and Joe had dinner, and then I picked up Chris to come here for the podcast, and Rob was going to bring his leftovers with him so Chris can eat before we do the podcast.
It was good.
It was good, and also it's good for the random homeless person that's going to grab them
Oh,
because
yeah.
you left
He's
them
gonna
on a
have
bench outside of the restaurant.
That guy's gonna eat like a
But
king
they're heat
in this
lamps.
cold ass weather.
There are
Just
heat
a-
lamps outside to keep
Oh.
people warm. If there's a
Some country-fried steak.
yeah,
Yeah.
But there's heat lamps
You want
outside.
some
So if there's a
country
long
fried
line,
steak,
the long line to get
mushrooms,
into the
and
place,
cheese.
there's heat lamps to keep people warm, and he left them right under the lamps for some homeless
still
guy.
hot.
I know I know it's like it's essentially a safe haven for like poverty-stricken plebs. They can just stay there and be warm throughout the winter.
What a
I
title.
mean, if I were just walking around for no reason, I'd sit on those benches.
Oh yeah, just waiting for the scraps.
I mean, we did sit on those benches waiting for you because you took the Chiswick roundabout.
That was a good reason. Yeah, but so it
People
was
don't know how to drive.
the whole feast waiting for you when you get there.
I'm not gonna go over there and fight a bum for a meal.
It's not even going to
It'll
be a
be like-
fight.
Makes me look bad.
Yeah, because he'll be energized. He would have already eaten
Yeah.
part of the
Yeah,
country
he's
fried
gonna be-
steak. He'll be like superpowers, and you'll be like then you'll become the bum. He just takes over your life, takes your clothes, goes in your house,
I like my life.
gets you a job.
He's going to run up to you. You're going to run up to him. Hey, you're getting mugged. And you're like, no, you're getting mugged. Well, how does this happen? ASDF movie. Check it out. Pie Town was great. Board game pinup girl gave us a great demo of the game.
Oh yeah.
Immediately sold us on the game. I came back and bought it
But, yeah,
later on in the day. They were doing a contest
Yeah.
on Instagram for someone to win it. We didn't win it, so
Never
we
win.
bought it.
never forget it.
Damn it.
Never. No.
After that, we went our separate ways around the showroom. I was checking out a bunch of games, handing out business cards, as were
I
Rob
remember.
and
Where did we go after
Chris.
that? Was that the Gruff booth after that?
Gruff was on day 2.
Gruff was day 2. Yeah.
Where did we go? What was day one? Just wandering. This was day one, but that was later on.
Vikings was we got Vikings on day 1. I was interested in Vikings from the get-go as soon as they announced that the game was coming out because Academy Games does a great job with their Birth of Europe line. And Vikings, I'm a huge
I
fan
know,
of Viking culture, as is Rob. If you haven't seen what we look like, you can tell why.
It's quite beguiling.
So we were talking to a bunch of the people at Academy Games, and we were already going to buy the game, but they just pitched that game to us so hard.
You have his card?
Yeah,
Tell
do you
him.
have a Gunter's card?
Tell him
Oh,
what it is.
Gunter.
Gunter.
I just
The
like the
champ.
fact that the game was actually made by a Nordic
Yeah.
man, which is awesome.
There he is,
Gunter the
Gunter
man.
Eckert.
Gunter Eckert. That's credentials
Gunter
right there.
actually designed the bigger expansion. Well, the only expansion, I should say.
Yeah, the
for the game.
expansion
There's
with
an
9
expansion that-
expansions.
it's an expansion with 9 expansions, and he designed it. And so what we picked up was the 878 Vikings base game. We picked up the massive expansion called the Viking Age expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Then we picked up
The most luxurious playmat known to mankind.
yeah, the gigantic mat that is a map of England.
Mm-hmm.
Then we also picked up miniatures to replace the cardboard cutouts that come in the game. So we have miniatures for all the captains, and we have miniatures for the churches
Nice.
and the houses.
So
Now,
we
there's
can burn them
miniatures
down.
for churches because there is a game mode in Vikings where if the Vikings burn down every church in England, they win.
Cue the black metal.
Very historically accurate, because that's what they did.
Yeah.
Cue the black metal.
But, well, on day one, what do we do?
Another game we picked up on... Well, I checked out Arcane Academy. I didn't buy Arcane Academy on day one. I bought Arcane Academy on day 3.
Oh, we played Sword and Sorcery. That's
You should
what
tell
we
them
did.
Sword
we
and
played
Sorcery is what I-
You should tell them
We
who
demoed a lot.
collaborated on Arcade Academy.
Oh, so for Arcade Academy, it's a powerhouse of design. The game is made by Eric Lang and Kevin Wilson. Eric Lang, let's see, every great game that came out in the past 2 years.
He did Bloodborne.
He did Bloodborne. He did Bloodborne. He did Blood Rage.
Yeah.
He did. He did the original Arcadia Quest. He did.
Yeah.
Wow.
He did a lot. That guy did a lot.
There's a lot, and now he essentially works for CMON, I think exclusively now. But Eric Lang,
I don't think so. I don't think it's exclusively, but
He does a lot of work for them.
he does a lot of work.
Yeah.
He has Rising Sun coming out
like Bloodborne was.
Q1 2018. Get your wallets ready. Between January, February, and March, you're going to be spending that money on Rising Sun, and if you don't, you're wrong.
That intense.
I remember what else we did in the first day. Didn't we play Big Trouble in Little China?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
board
yeah,
game.
the epic. Oh, everything
board
epic.
game.
Everything epic.
That was
Yeah.
just
Put that
too
out.
heavy. Way too heavy for no reason.
Well,
It
I
was
love the
pretty-
concept though. I
First of
felt
all,
that.
they're-
insane.
the game company is Everything Epic.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the game is going to be heavy.
Heavy.
Oh, yeah.
They have a the Big Trouble game or a Rambo game.
They have a Rambo board game coming out next year.
Mm-hmm.
Also, speaking of Everything Epic Games, Coma Ward is a game that they have coming out. It was on Kickstarter. It was funded successfully. It should be coming out early next year. It was on the hotness on Board Game Geek for a while. I'm browsing it now.
It's
I
spicy.
don't see it. It's very spicy.
What else we get? Attack of the Kaiju.
Attack of the Kaiju is
That's it.
if you are a fan of the original Godzilla movies, you 100% need to own this game immediately. Everything's in black and white, all the artwork, keeping it really, really campy.
Nice.
Or that Guillermo del Toro movie. What was that?
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim?
Yeah, you like Pacific Rim?
If you like Pacific
Pacific
Rim, if you
Rim, the
like
game.
Godzilla, just buy the game.
It's like anything big monsters.
You like Reptilicus? If you're a big fan of Reptilicus, you should buy this game.
What's Gamora? Is
You
another
like-
good one.
You like Reptar?
Reptar. Yeah.
Reptar.
Big
Yeah,
old
you
fan
like
of
that
Rodan.
Rodan.
Like the Rodan?
Yeah. Fun fact: Rodan was a separate character before
Yeah.
he was in Godzilla. Same with Mothra.
Yep, indeed.
Mhm. So was the what's his name? Spike guy.
There's a
Angoras. Yeah.
Angoras, yeah.
He was Godzilla's best friend.
Yeah.
He betrayed him and broke his mouth.
Yeah.
Wow.
That scene was brutal.
It was
Yeah,
pretty
fun
brutal,
fact.
yeah.
Also,
Traitor.
fun fact about these kaiju movies. Did you know that Mothra was a pimp, and he
Yeah.
pimped out 2 underage Asian girls that were really terrible at singing that
Yeah.
lived in a cardboard box?
What?
Whatever the hell they say. I don't
That
know.
did
It's
not
in
sound
Japanese.
anything like
But
what they were
they
saying.
Kind of lord.
That. All right. Hold on.
Let's actually find like what the song sounds like because
Yeah. Can we? All right.
mine actually might be better. You never know.
No.
No, whatever
We're
you
taking a
just
break.
did is
Hold
real
on.
bad.
Adorable.
I'm gonna bring up the song, and
It's a good song.
that was.
Except, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a good song, but it's
All
better
right.
than
So.
It's there.
All
Not
right,
as good
Joe,
as
hold on. Ready? Jaga. So,
that. Jagger.
all right. So, Joe, can you sing the Mothra song one more time again? All
I don't know.
right. So here's how it actually goes.
It's not far off. Not far off at all.
Wow.
Whoa. What decade was this made in?
I'm guessing the 60s or 70s.
Oh wait, pause. That's the Mothra theme song.
No,
we
that's
need the
was
song.
That's the
70 or
theme
80s.
song.
Yeah.
Hold on. We have a terrible advertisement coming up on this YouTube page that we're not gonna have play because we don't want to give other people.
Just stop this madness. Stop this madness. There you go.
Mothra.
Why does it sound so cheery?
It's actually a really good song. Not gonna lie.
It's
That's
cheery
the catchiest.
because they're summoning a giant butterfly creature.
But
Moth.
he's gonna destroy humanity.
I mean, they
No,
say
actually, Mothra's a good guy. Godzilla was always the bad guy. That's a fact.
that's not true.
That is 100% not true.
At first, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm actually a
Godzilla
good
is a
guy."
bad guy to
That
Mothra, that's for
retraction.
sure.
Yeah.
Because he kills Mothra.
Yeah, but in the original, he was a bad guy to humans. But then he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, all these other guys are coming from space, and now I have to actually
Well,
protect
here's the
these
thing,
people."
Joe. It's all about a matter of perspective.
Yeah,
He's just walking around.
that's true.
There's people there. It's not his fault. They're 3
He's,
inches tall.
he's like stepping. It's like stepping on a bunch of Legos. He's like, "Why is it here?"
Yeah, but I guarantee you, stepping on those humans does not hurt his feet.
not
true.
once.
It's
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
but still just as annoying. It's like, man, why's this gotta be here?
Can you imagine
Just
if Godzilla walking, he steps on all these people, it's fine. But God forbid he steps on 1D4 or War Sun from TI, and Godzilla just loses his shit.
He steps on one actual Lego just in the
Lego
middle of the
piece.
street. Takes him
And if
out.
you haven't seen the new Godzilla movie, the Shin Godzilla movie, when he shoots lasers out of his back, that's what happens when he steps
Spoiler
on a
alert.
War Sun. That's what
God,
happens.
Joe, you just spoiled that movie.
Yeah.
Well, if you
for
haven't
everybody.
seen it already, you're a bad person. You
Well,
should
it
see
was
that
only
Well, it was-
playing in
yeah.
4 theaters in the
I bet
United
you-
States for 3
I
days.
bet you people just found out Shin Godzilla exists because it was on such a small release, and they're like, man, I really want to see that. And then like 3 seconds later, you're like, oh, by the way, and just spoiled it.
Well, guess
Ruined
what?
everything.
Well, guess what?
Now they don't even have a chance.
Guess
Sorry,
what?
we'll
There's
cut
some
that.
other stuff that's crazy in that. I'm not gonna tell you. And there might be a sequel to it. Might.
Now he's gonna tell you after
Might.
not telling.
No, we're not going to say
So
anything
no.
else about that movie. But, yes, Attack of the Kaiju, awesome game. You basically throw tanks, break buildings, and beat each other up and gain victory
And gain
points.
victory points to do it. Kill a guy,
And it-
gain victory points. Kill a building, gain victory points. Kill a bigger building, gain more victory points.
Yeah,
And it's just a lot of fun.
not bad.
And it's a very... Anyone can play it. Takes about an hour.
5 people.
Any
6
landmarks?
Six
Six
people.
people. 2 to 6,
Yeah,
right?
any landmarks kind of thing, or is it
2
just
6.
standard
No
buildings? right
landmarks, just a giant city. And
Yeah, right now the landmark feature is skyscrapers.
now? Skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's why I say destroy a really big building, you get more points.
you have smaller buildings and really, really, really big buildings.
Yeah. So there's a lot of small buildings, and there's like 4 or 5 really
Yeah.
big buildings.
That'd be cool if they make like an expansion or like a one-off. If they could get like Toho to get like a Godzilla.
I'm 100% sure they're going to support this game.
Toho.
If you talk to the people. No,
Yeah.
not Toho. What?
No, like saying if they get like the rights to like get like a little
Joe, you
Godzilla
need to
like,
calm
character
down.
for it.
Yeah.
that'd be
You need to calm. They are never talking to them.
I know. I just love Godzilla. That's why.
Who's your favorite? Who? All right, ready? We're gonna
Favorite villain?
No, just not villain.
Jet Jaguar, he's my favorite
All right,
villain.
ready?
He's
We're gonna
evil
give you
as
2
crap.
questions. We're gonna give you 2 questions, Joe. Your favorite Godzilla movie
Ooh,
and your favorite Godzilla character.
oh man, that's a tough one.
What's your favorite Godzilla superpower? I know mine.
I know what yours is too.
The flying. It's the flying, isn't
Yep.
it?
Flying.
Flying.
Godzilla, I don't know if you know this, Jones. Godzilla can fly.
One of
I
my
have
one of my favorites.
no
'cause
idea.
It's, one of my favorites
Yeah,
because
he
it's
can.
so
He doesn't have
comical.
wings.
Is the tail spin where he grabs you by the tail and just spins you until he throws you really slowly in the air and goes for no
You
for
don't
no
fly.
apparent reason. It
You
was
never
just
know
a
that was a
time.
sound effect.
So,
yeah.
what is your favorite Godzilla movie? And I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong,
I'm gonna have to say
unless he says the right one.
I'm gonna have to say Destroyer.
You're wrong.
I know what
Destroyer
yours
is
is,
good, though.
but Destroyer is crazy.
Destroyer is crazy, but you're wrong.
Who's
Who's
your
your
favorite?
favorite?
My favorite?
Yeah.
Biollante. Come on.
Biollante, yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
best.
Everyone's nuts too.
Yeah.
Like, those are
Biolante's not
two-
he's not my favorite movie, but he's my favorite villain.
Biollante?
Yeah, my favorite movie is probably just Mechagodzilla.
That's
Yeah,
what I was about to
Mecha-
say. Yeah,
Mechagodzilla's
Mechagodzilla.
fine.
Mechagodzilla.
King Caesar?
King Caesar
Yeah.
busting out of the island like a boss, staring at things with his eyes that never blink.
King
Oh,
Caesar, and then
that
you got
unblinking
that dramatic
Titanosaurus.
look.
That's the second one. Titanosaurus is the second one.
Yeah, Titanosaurus is
I have that.
Mechagodzilla 2.
I have that on VHS.
My favorite Godzilla movie is Biollante. Biollante might be my favorite villain
It's my favorite villain. Yeah.
as well. My favorite character, hands down, Gigan.
Makes sense.
Gigan in Final Wars with the dual
Mecha
chainsaws.
Gigan?
Oh my god!
Gigan's
Mecha
beast.
Gigan just destroys everything. That guy was like, when I saw that, I was like,
I like Gojira.
Whoa.
Gojira is my favorite Godzilla monster.
Wow. At least he didn't say King Ghidorah like everyone else.
no, at least he didn't say Zilla, which is literally not an actual character from the movies, but they just threw him in
What
there.
was that, baby?
From the American
Godzuki?
1998 movie.
Oh, Godzilla
just
is
so,
on.
just so Godzilla could squash it.
You know, Zilla and Gojira is the same character.
Yeah, I know.
So what are you talking about?
Oh, you talking about?
I hate you, Joe.
Wow.
I just made the connection now. That's because I know Gojira is like the actual Japanese way of saying Godzilla.
That's not true either. They made that up for the movie.
Really.
Yeah.
Really, I didn't. I thought that
No,
was
they
actual.
say yeah.
Really? Huh. That makes me sad because I always thought that was the Japanese.
That's what you get for watching shitty American Godzilla
Yeah, it was
movies.
bad.
Yeah.
no.
Good
God
for
damn
you.
it, Matthew Broderick. God
He-
damn it.
Marrying that Sarah
Hank
Jessica
Azaria
Parker.
was in it though, so that's
Horse?
like
He married a horse?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
married.
you, damn, you were out of the loop.
Hank Azaria. Yeah,
Hank
that movie.
Azaria was good in the
The movie had some good parts to it.
It
like-
was just it was in a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, it
No,
was
it
like it was
wasn't.
like half Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
The Jurassic Park stuff was cool with the babies and like
Yeah,
the
the
subway.
babies-
Oh,
the
that
baby
was
element was
awesome!
cool.
Right
Yeah.
on the Madison Square Garden, just wrecking
Yeah.
things.
Full
Eating
of
all
those
fish
fish.
and eggs.
Yeah, that
The
was cool
secret
stuff.
French army
If they
just
just
getting
said that
destroyed.
movie wasn't Godzilla, I would have been like, oh, it's
That's
Just
a cool
another
movie.
giant monster
Yeah.
It's
movie.
Oh, I like it, but I
Just
don't
like
acknowledge
hordes
it as a
hordes
Godzilla.
Exactly.
of baby Godzillas.
There's another good monster movie we didn't even talk about is Cloverfield.
You know why we didn't talk about it, Joe? Because this
Because
is
we're
a
talking
monster
about
movie.
Godzilla.
Yeah, this is a board game podcast.
I
We're
know.
talking about Kaiju Attack.
Yeah,
right
we're
now.
talking about kaiju.
Well, that's another
And
good movie.
we're talking about kaiju and getting attacked by hordes of baby Godzillas.
Baby Godzilla.
Or in this case, we can talk about getting attacked by hordes of zombies, which
Ooh.
brings up the refuge,
Refuge.
a race for survival.
Oh man, that was amazing.
So
That was a good
the
game.
refuge is a really, really fast, intense game where it's a race to the finish. Everyone sets up in the starting zone and they have
almost
to
looks like
work
a-
their way up the board to get to the finish line.
Looks
Yeah.
kind of
Now-
like a chessboard.
Kind of looks like a
So
chessboard.
all the like the white squares can spawn zombies, and the black
so-
squares have abilities on them.
Yeah,
That's
so every
basically the whole
square
board.
has an ability, and there's 4 different types of tiles in the game. One lets you spawn a zombie, one lets you move a zombie, one is a safe
Safe
space where
place.
you can't get touched unless someone lands in the switch space, which lets you switch
Switch.
spaces with anyone on a safe space.
Yep.
And all the-
This is a game, another game that will make you hate your friends because we were
Oh,
playing.
absolutely.
We were playing it last night, and I got zombies on my spot. So what happens is if you're playing and a zombie moves on your spot, if you can't kill it, you go back to start.
Yeah, it kills you.
Yeah.
You
love it.
You don't
essentially
really
die.
die, you just go
Yeah.
back.
You
to
go
the
back to
start.
start. So I got that happen to me 3 times, and I had cards in my hand that could get me weapons from discard pile. Guess what? There were no cards in the weapon
Oh, yeah.
cards in the
How
discard.
many of you were playing last night?
Oh, it was only 3 of us, but Joe got
Oh.
screwed every time.
Yeah.
Joe didn't
Perfect.
win a game.
Phil won like every game.
Yeah, Phil won 3 games in a row, and then I won a game,
Damn.
and then Joe was just...
You guys got a lot of games in. How many of
Ours-
us were playing last time at PAX?
4, I think, right? This is what
Yeah,
we're-
Oh yeah, it
4 of
was
us
4 of
playing.
us.
It
That's
took
why-
us. It was like a 50 minutes. To
But the
finish
game
that
does support 6 players, so...
You know
the
why it took
game's-
so long? Because of our next level skills.
Oh man, we were
Yeah,
just
better-
zombies
better we are.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Literally
next
the whole
level
board
is-
was zombies.
We've only played with up to 4 people, but the game supports 6, and I can only imagine how insane that game
Just
is gonna be with
chaotic.
6 players, and we have 6 people in our group, so we might as well do it.
And that's
That's
gonna be
almost-
fun because like probably just about everyone's gonna be booted back to its beginning of that
I
game.
don't even think Joe's
Not
gonna
just
know what's
me.
happening. You can't even count to 6. You're like,
No.
Joe
heck,
count.
where'd that guy come
1, 5. I
All
don't
right,
know.
yeah, no.
That was quick.
from? Ice cream?
Ice cream.
Yes.
So another game that we checked out at PAX was Red Dragon Inn Battle for Greyport.
Oh, love that game.
Now, it's a deck builder. It's a cooperative deck builder, which you don't really see that often.
And
really
it's not
good.
for the faint of heart.
And it's
It's not
difficult.
easy.
It's
No,
a very
it's not.
difficult game. But it's also a lot of fun, and it's very rewarding when you think about it, because at the end of every scenario, if you beat it, you do get treasure, and that's a good thing to have. The game is, if you've ever played every character from Red Dragon Inn
The whole initial
He's a
cast.
playable
yeah,
character.
is a
Plus,
playable character, and you also get a new
Kronos, the
character,
Time
Kronos the
Mage.
Time Mage,
Awesome.
who's
He-
essentially just...
You also, when you get the game, you
Snapcast
get all the
Mage.
stuff for him for Red Dragon Inn.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
They have the extra components in the box.
Yeah.
Yep.
but yeah. So, but it's a cooperative game. Me and Cerrone and Joe, you played it too.
Yep.
right?
Yeah, it was a fun time.
We've
And
played
then
it. We've played it
Phil-
multiple times.
Was
Me
it-
and Cerrone played it like 3 times.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys
I
played
keep
a
playing
bunch
it.
of times.
Yeah, I think we
the
played
only
like
time
3.
I played it was the time at when we demoed it initially, and when we went through the first run through of it by ourselves in the open gaming area. I haven't played it since, but from what I did play, the game is really fun.
It plays a lot like Dragonfire, less
Which is another
mechanic-y,
game we're gonna talk
but
about in a bit.
more such a difficulty. I don't know. It's just really.
Yeah,
You just don't progress like you would in Dragonfire.
Yeah.
It's just scenarios,
And
but
you
it's
can
still fun.
you can help your fellow venturers
Oh, it's
every turn
yeah.
That's what I love
if you
about
can.
It's
if you can.
100% cooperative.
Yeah.
Like, all the players have different characters, but their turns at the same time.
Yeah,
Like,
we got lucky. The first time that I played it, we got really lucky because me and Chris were
That
both.
was skill.
We were both down to 1 health,
All we needed
That was skill.
and Chris rolled that crit 6, and
That
we just
lucky
beat that
6.
boss down.
That's all we needed.
Listen, Joe, we set ourselves up over a long 2-hour course of that entire game to get ourselves to the point where we could win it,
Yeah,
and we won it. That's all that matters.
back against the
Sheer
wall.
luck, though.
Yeah,
It was that
skill.
Jumanji roll. I was like, we need this 6 right now.
that was beautiful. That's this one. It's just one of those games where you're like, it's like so difficult, but once you get past that boss,
That was the
it's the
introduction.
greatest.
That was the introduction campaign.
Yeah,
It wasn't
Oh
it
even.
was the
God.
introduction cam, and that was like, man, this game's gonna be so hard.
We're like, oh, it's not gonna be that hard. The demo wasn't that hard. The guy said to us, oh, we got complaints. The game was a little bit too hard. And we're standing there like, what are you out of your mind? This is
Yeah.
some easy stuff.
He stacked
Yeah, we're
our
sitting
decks.
there just like, nah, this
Yeah.
isn't that hard. Like, we tackled this. He's like, yeah, but we didn't do this.
Like,
this,
let me
this,
tell
and
you-
this. I'm like, oh,
let me
okay.
tell you a short-
By the way, you're starting off with really
Let me
good.
tell you a
cards
short
in
story. The first time I played this game was me, Saron, and Monk. And Monk was dying. Like, not in the game, but in real life. And
Yeah, I was essentially
Crashing,
I
yeah.
crashed.
And
so
late.
so we're on the first
hard.
turn, and we set up the game. We're on the first turn. I take my action. Sean takes his action. Monk's just sitting there like, Monkey, you gonna do anything? He's like, no. I think you just quit now. I just quit now. I don't understand the point. What's the freaking point of this? You have to kill these guys. You have to kill those guys. I saw guys in front of me. They're not attacking you. I'm gonna die in one hit. And we're sitting there like, me and Sean looking at each other like,
I see what you're saying, but I
legitimately had
really
an
want to see
existential
if we pull
crisis
this out.
playing this
See,
game.
like I said, it's not for the faint of heart. It could give you anxiety because you don't know if you're
It
gonna
wasn't
live or
even that. I
not.
was just the combination of being wiped out from the weekend, and I was just sitting there trying to watch wrestling on my phone, and
me and Sean are looking
I
at each other like,
just
what
lost
just
it.
happened? What is happening? He's
Why?
having an existential crisis.
What's the point?
Because we all see what he's talking about, but we're like, I mean, maybe
see
we'll
it.
just play it through, see what happens. And
like,
he's just like, I don't see the point. I don't get it. Why are we doing this? And we're like, what?
He went to the bathroom. We played for his turn, and then we somehow pulled it through, and then we stuck around.
That crisis was on the first turn of the game.
it was my turn to go. It's my turn to go. I look at my hand, I look at the board, I go, "There's no point in this. Why are we even trying?" And then I gathered my thoughts, went to the bathroom, came back 15 minutes later, and I was fine after that.
Maybe
But-
15 pounds lighter too.
But that game, the game is very difficult, but it's always good to have a challenge in a board game. You don't want it completely streamlined for
It is.
You really,
And then also, when you beat it, you get such a friggin' sense of satisfaction.
And you
Exactly.
really
oh
can't.
yeah,
And you know how in some games you pull ahead a little bit and you're like, oh, this game's going to be pretty. There's never a point in that game where you're thinking like, oh, we're out of it right now.
Yeah,
Like, you know, we could take it a little bit easy. No, like,
you have to be on guard the
You-
whole time.
like you can be like, oh, we're probably going to win this, you know, encounter, but there's 2 more after this, and we already beat the crap, and we're not going to heal.
No, it's like a stress test. So, like, how far can you guys
And,
go?
and the whole time we didn't realize this until the second time we played this.
Yeah.
That we were playing on hardcore mode the whole time, where after you refresh every round, you can gain health back. We were
You don't gain 4
not
health, you
every
gain
round.
No, you get
after
No,
every,
you
after
gain 1 health back. every
one health.
round.
No, 2. I think it says
Yeah,
recommended.
so-
I
Two's
think it was 2
recommended.
health. Yeah, you
I
get 2
said we
health
do
back
one.
after every.
Oh, Dragonfire's 1. That's
I said we
One.
should do
Well,
one.
Dragonfire's health system is a little differently too, though.
Yeah.
You don't take nearly as much damage in Dragonfire.
Yeah, every time you beat an encounter, you can heal up to 2 health. I was saying we should
An
only
encounter
do one.
can be like 20 goblins, by the
Yeah,
way.
it could be a lot.
An encounter is
Yeah.
not like you versus a guy. It's you versus all the guys around
And
you.
the tokens that the guys
And the
spawn.
town. Like, you have to
Yeah.
fight the monsters off of you and the town at
It's
the
for the
same
monster off
for
of
your
you,
turn.
off of your friends, off
Yeah.
of the town. And there's a time limit. The town's got health, and every turn there's monsters attacking the town.
Yep.
If you don't kill the monsters attacking the town, even and I mean, you have to kill the monsters attacking you before you can attack them. You know, so it's just like, what is?
And then some have some other static effect, like they have to be targeted instead of others.
Maybe it's justifiable that Monk had an existential crisis playing.
I believe it. No, like I told you, when he said it, I was like, I'm not denying it.
We're saying like, I see exactly what you're saying. We're probably gonna lose, but I want to see.
We're not gonna do it, guys.
Yeah, I
at least
want to
see if we could do like round one.
Like there was and the stuff spawns semi-randomly. So there's the second time we were playing. Remember, we all spawn our guys in front of us, and you taunt a guy off the thing, and then I go and or Joe goes, he doesn't taunt, and then I go and I taunt. Then we realized that mathematically that because Joe didn't taunt, we literally lost that encounter.
Yeah.
There was no way we could possibly win.
If
we were like, what the crap?
If the taunt feature wasn't an actual mechanic in that game, it's impossible.
Yeah.
I know you guys are sitting there like, what the heck is talking about taunt? Believe me, when the video comes out, you're gonna understand what we're talking about. But there are points where you're like, you mess up once, and that's like a little mistake. That's like something anybody can miss. Oh, I'm not gonna taunt this round. It's whatever. No, if we had taunted, we could have possibly. I mean, I say possibly because it could have died. We could have possibly won that encounter, but because we didn't, we literally couldn't win the encounter. And it was the first turn. It was our first round of turns.
That's how you get goblins and monsters off of you. You just do your mama jokes, and they run after you, and because they're mad now because you talked about their mother.
Yeah.
Dogs have mothers? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Speaking about
that
heroic games where you're essentially in a dungeon fighting things, another game that we picked up was One Deck Dungeon.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
The whole game's in a deck.
So, I didn't play it, but Cerrone and Rob played it. So, if you guys want to do a little...
I mean, the game is
good.
Yeah. A little dance, a little song.
Oh, my. It was a lot of fun. The rules were a little convoluted, but once we got it down...
Yeah, they make sense.
Yeah.
It's just the way they're written is like...
Overworded is the word.
Yeah, it's like 4 pages to say 3 sentences of things.
Yeah.
They say the same thing 4 or 5 times in a row, and you're like... As soon as I actually... Because I was, as a gamer, I want to get it down completely, because we're going to look at this game, me and Storm are going to play it, to figure out how to play it. Then probably the two of us, or me and somebody, or him and somebody, is going to review this game. So we want to know that you get it all completely down. So we're going word by word through this book, like, oh man, I'm going to read it, I'm going to get it, I'm going to read it, I'm going to get it. And then...
Literally, it was just that feeling after every page.
Yeah, and then like 40 minutes later, and we had no idea how to play the game, because I repeated this and it was like 14 times. I just like, I'm going to flip to the back of this book. I flipped to the back of the book, just looked at the picture, I was like, oh, okay. Well, we know how to play now. That was easy.
Once we figured it out, though, it's
once you figure it out, it's good.
It's
like,
fun.
Pretty good.
It's actually a good game, but it's also unforgiving.
Yeah,
I feel like it's Battle for Greyport portable version.
Yeah, it's literally like Battle for Greyport is pretty portable, but if you want to get even more portable and even more difficult for some reason, One Deck Dungeon.
It is.
You basically progress through a dungeon of cards. You have a whole deck, and there's features of the game that mill it. That means time passes. When time passes, you mill the deck, and then you flip over cards. So when you flip over a card, you're progressing through the dungeon. Like, oh, I want to see what's in that door. And it's a whole deck, and you have to get through the whole deck. And you think, oh, I'm done with the dungeon. No, you're done with the first floor.
Jesus.
You're done with the first floor. Then you take that deck, you shuffle it back up, you restack it, flip over more doors, and set the staircase from the first floor to the second floor, which just makes it pretty much twice as difficult, and then re-go through that whole deck again. And that's the second floor. You do 3 floors, and then there's a boss.
And they said this game is a half hour long? I call shenanigans on that.
Well, to be fair, so it's a little hard for us to guesstimate, right?
Yeah, it was.
Exactly how long
it took. It was late, too.
So it was late. It took us a long time to actually learn the game, longer than we thought anyway, just because of how the instructions were worded. But once we got it, like the first 2 or 3 counters were a little bit slow. Yeah,
but then it escalated quickly with the difficulty.
Yeah, we started flying through them encounters.
Yeah, it was pretty intense, but I did enjoy it, like you said. Like after we got it down, but I would rather play Battle for Greyport if that were the case.
Yeah, if you're gonna go all in on a crazy hard game.
Yeah. Well, I think the only reason was with One Deck Dungeon, unless you get the expansion, it's only 2 players. I would like to have a bigger group of people. To help out
in order for One Deck Dungeon, it's 1 to 2 players. If you buy a second One Deck Dungeon, I guess. It should just have 2 of them. Then you can have 3 to 4 players.
Yeah, I'm a group play kind of guy. It's a lot more fun.
So I mean, you can play One Deck Dungeon solo. That's another thing. You can't play Battle Greyport solo. It's not balanced for you to play it solo. It's literally impossible.
You'll literally get murdered.
Yeah, it's just too hard. But One Deck Dungeon is balanced for 1 to 2 people, and they have characters that the characters themselves are front and back. The back is for like 3 to 4. The front's for 1 to 2.
Yeah.
So, but they are what he's talking about. I'm excited about too. I think it's going to be pretty cool. The actual expansion.
Yes.
The actual expansion is a campaign that makes it kind of like Battle for Greatport or Dragonfire or any of those other
So there's like progression to it.
progression
That's
games.
pretty cool.
So it's you versus. I mean, it's you versus a dungeon in this too, but it's like a big campaign style dungeon.
That's what I would like.
essentially. And
That's pretty legit.
that's gonna be legit. It's not out yet. It's not out at all actually, but they did have it for demo there.
No.
But we couldn't play it because the tables were literally full all the time.
Dude, the tournament
good
area
sign, man.
and the free game area was just as big, and they were so full.
Swarmed with people.
Another game that we didn't mention earlier that we picked up at PAX was Alien Artifacts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That game's cool.
Alien Artifacts, the best way to describe it is Twilight Imperium, the card game. And that I don't want to intimidate anyone with that statement because I'm sure you're hearing that and going, oh my god, it's like Twilight Imperium. Like, no. Like, you immediately think it's going to be like 8 hours and you're not going to want to
No,
play
it's half the time.
It's 4 hours.
But the game is heavy. You basically you are building planets, crafting new technologies, and
Casual stuff.
creating.
Building planets.
Well, you're discovering planets.
Discovering
I was about
planets.
to say, I was like,
But
damn, it's
well,
like
how
Planet
the
AE.
game works is that you purchase a card and then you use your resources to
Discover the planet.
discover it.
And-
You buy the card and you have it in your pending area,
Yeah.
and then you use your currency to buy the cards, and then you use your resources to put them into your empire.
Interesting.
It's nuts.
The game could get really out of hand really quickly.
Yep. And while you're doing that, you're doing battle with alien colonies, and then stealing their technologies to put into your empire.
And
Holy
it's those
crap.
technologies that make the game crazy.
It's like a 4X game without the board.
Yeah.
That's
know
why I want
what
to
I
get
mean?
the mat.
Like if you play a standard 4X game like a Twilight Imperium or I'm trying to think of another. Anyway, kind of
Eclipse.
like Eclipse, yeah, like Eclipse.
Eclipse is essentially Twilight Imperium
Yeah.
for poor people.
Except it's also $100.
Wow. That
It's
is.
getting a second edition next year.
Eclipse is a good game.
Second
I'm not
edition
gonna
comes
crap
out
on
next
Eclipse.
year. Really excited about it.
But yeah, Eclipse, Twilight Imperium, these games have like these tile-based boards that you move your physical pieces around,
Yeah.
and that's one of the reasons it takes so long. There's a whole nother level to it. But
That's like the
Alien-
risk element to it. You're moving like pieces onto other
Alien-
areas. and
Alien
stuff like that.
Artifacts has
there's
a lot
no
of the
board.
there's no boards,
no
but it has a
cards.
lot of the
Yeah.
like exploration features put into cards. You know,
Yeah.
technology advancements put into cards. So it has like the 4X features without the board. So it streamlines a little bit and makes it fast. It's still a long game because there's a lot to it,
Yeah.
but it makes it a little bit faster, a little bit more accessible.
Also, 4X, for
And
those
there's-
that are wondering what 4X means, it means explore, exploit, no, hold on.
Huh?
Well,
I'm gonna wait for
halfway.
Almost there. Hold up.
He's got 2 out of 4,
It's
50%.
almost there.
He's gonna look it up. He's
Of
gonna
course
look
I
it
am.
up.
What a cheater.
God damn it.
Google to the rescue.
Yeah, it's a 4X game.
Well, guys, there goes our expertise.
Goes this whole show. bunch of
Yeah, no, we're.
God damn it.
bunch of fakes.
But oh
We
my
just
God,
bought really
I forgot.
expensive equipment and sit around not knowing what the hell we're talking about.
Listen, it's fine. You know,
There's a lot of things that you do in the game that have ease in it, like explore, exploit. Because we do exploit. That's how you.
Joe,
That's you
Joe,
take
hold
advantage
on,
of planets
stop,
in the game.
Stop. You say it has a lot of ease in it, right?
You're
But
adorable.
it's X actually.
Yeah, good job. Good job.
Exploration. X.
It's the emphasis on the X.
it's explore, exploit, expand, and exterminate.
He knew that. He did not look that up. It was off the top of his head.
Absolutely, I did not go and download the PDF
All
for the
those
rule book for Alien
E's.
Artifacts.
All those E words, like as Joe says.
Had a lot of E's in it.
Oh yeah.
Got a lot of E's.
But yeah, no, that game's a lot of fun.
The English with an I.
Me and Anthony we
Unlike
we
xylophone.
try to sit down.
That real X word.
We played like we
Thought it
sat
was a
down
Z.
and attempted to play this game, just me and him, and we realized how heavy it was unexpectedly. We were like, we're gonna do like maybe 3 rounds of like just like buying stuff and like putting stuff down in our like build and like expand like just like how the
It's
game
11
works.
It's 11 o'clock at night. And we sit down at the table. We're like, oh yeah, let's play Alien Artifacts. It's a card game. It can't be that bad. And we sit down and we set it up, and then we look at each other, just like, nope,
We're not finishing
doing
this.
that.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
So let's just play a couple rounds.
After you
see
play
how
the
it
game
goes.
after you play the game a few times, it'll 100% take you under an hour to play the game.
Yeah.
And that's great because you get the 4X experience
It's like
in a
terraforming.
fraction of the time that it usually takes.
Yeah, it's like a terraforming
Wow.
Mars. You know, the first time you play it, it's a little longer, hour and a half, 2 hours. But then you realize, even as you're playing it the first time, like, oh, we're going fast now. If I had known,
We also picked up Venus Next, the expansion for Terraforming Mars. We're going to do a review on
That's
that
gonna
as
be
well.
so much fun.
It's going to be a really quick review because all that comes in it is a white cube, an extra board that's about the size of my hand, and a deck of cards. So look out for that one too.
But once you partway through it, you realize, oh, next time you play this game, it's gonna be way faster.
Yeah.
You know, like the first 5 turns took you like
Once you
40 minutes.
learn what the cards do and
Yeah.
the mechanics and stuff like that, it goes
First
like,
5 turns take you 40 minutes. Second 5 turns take you 15.
Yeah.
And
know, like-
the last game that we picked up is an expansion for Gruff. And I'm going to let Rob and Cerrone take care of this one because they're their biggest fans.
I'm gonna let Cerrone go a little bit because
Cerrone.
because it's the first time he played it. I played it
Yeah.
multiple
Yeah,
We've
times.
been playing
I
it,
had-
like the past 2 years, we've been talking to these guys at Gen Con, and
Yeah.
this is Cerrone's first dive into it.
I mean,
So,
yeah.
Cerrone, what do you think about Gruff?
Oh my god, it was so much fun. We went to the demo table. We went there a little early, like as soon as like they
Yeah, they're
opened the
still eating
gates.
their
So they were
breakfast.
still eating their breakfast, and I felt bad. And Rob was like, "Well, I could show them." She was like, "Really? There's the fantastic." And she finishes her bagel.
And this is the same people from ChudCon too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome. So he sits in front of me, just shows me the game, and it's so much fun. It's so silly seeing all the goats and all their different modifications, different types of goats. And I think we only did we play with an expansion, or was it just the standard
base game?
the
Yeah.
base game?
We played the base setup. Like if you were to set up a 2-player preset game, that was the game we played.
Oh man, it was
So yeah, you get shepherds, and you play as a shepherd
yeah.
who has life, a certain amount of health, and
A flock of
and they go crazy basically. And they have a flock of goats, and the goats are mean, fat, and weird. And
Yep.
and every time you activate a goat, it either gets meaner, fatter, or weirder. And the weirder it gets, the crazier the shepherd gets. The crazier the shepherd gets, the more crazy cards you can play. Their sanity is like your mana.
It was a lot of fun with the insanity, how far you can get, but you were stacking cards like crazy.
Yeah, it's got a lot of layers to it.
Rob's
I don't know
a
you could
seasoned
combo out like
veteran
that.
in goat
He was.
fighting.
I had him at 2. I was taking him down. I'm like, flawless victory. He didn't even touch me. I got this in the bag.
Flawless victory.
And then I hear people on the side just like, man, I wish we gotta hurry up. I wish these guys would hurry up. I want to play. We were taking a lot of time. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we
but
did
then
a
out of
full
nowhere,
game. So.
but then
You could
we
just turn
did a
around
full
to
game, no
people,
demo.
Rob, be like-
Rob was just like, all right, boom, played his
Be
entire
gone.
hand.
yeah, Rob, you should
Be
just turn around and be like, "I'm a pro at this
I was like,
You
son
know
of a
your-
mother.
I'm the
Yeah.
only professional Gruff player
in the
There's your
world."
demo.
ever
Go home to your mother.
to exist.
You know why they let me teach you the game? I taught them the game.
I am the game.
And let's be honest, Rob has broken a few games at Gen Con in front of the
have.
creators.
I have, yeah.
And the creators are like, "Whoa, I gotta fix this."
Yeah.
And look,
When I played the Refuge, I beat one of the people that work for B&B Games in about 6 turns, and he just looked at me like,
I hate
"Wow, you really picked up on this." I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty simple."
you. He's probably like, "I hate you so much."
but luckily after we finished the game, the guy hooked us up with the expansion of Rage of the Trolls. I can't wait to
of the True.
I can't wait to try that out and see how that plays.
And it's that's got new stuff in it. He was telling us it's not released to anybody. Even the Kickstarters don't have it yet. But it's got trolls in it, which are these big boss creatures. That's basically all I really know about. They're big boss creatures. I think they have their own decks. I'm not 100% sure.
So do we work together against
And we
them?
work together with our gruffs to beat the trolls.
I like that they had these new team-based games now. It's so much fun.
So, but yeah, it's almost like it adds more shepherds and more gruffs, which is what you want because
Oh, yeah.
you want more people that you can play as and
I
more
mean, the ones that I
different,
saw were
different
impressive.
goat combinations.
Yeah, I can't wait to
'cause
see
the
the
goats
new
are
ones.
crazy.
They go all out. I like
get-
their ideas that they come
Yeah,
up
you
with.
have goats that are just fat. Just
Some that are
literally
like
just fat.
underwater with the tentacles and everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
kind of
mechanical.
Cthulhu.
Mechanical motorbike goats.
Cthulhu.
go through.
Yours was a motorcycle.
Yeah, I like half motorcycle.
Is there by chance a Chris Jericho card in there?
No.
What are you
Damn it.
talking about?
Chris
Reaching
Jericho's the goat, man.
I hate you.
that reach.
Man, you just crossed 13 borders with that.
Reach.
Yeah. But anyway, so we got that expansion, and we like the game a lot. I like the game a whole lot.
Yeah,
honestly.
I'm. Now you got me hooked on it. I like hard games.
And
so-
you can draft it, like I said. Like there's a lot of, I don't want to say it's like Magic, because it doesn't play exactly like
There's
Magic.
a lot of mechanics within the
Yeah,
game.
if you understand some of the like the more, I say more advanced, because they're the hierarchy mechanics of Magic. Like
Yeah.
how stuff can. There's kind of a stack. There's
you showed me.
There's a trample that's not called trample. Basically, everything has, and there's the cards do exactly what they say, which is another thing that's in Magic.
I like that.
Sometimes you have a game and you're like, well, the card says this, but I know it does that. You know what I mean? This game, if the card says it,
It doesn't.
it does exactly what it says it does. If it says when this gruff moves, it doesn't matter how it moves. It doesn't matter if there's a card that says switch
Just when it
positions.
moves.
Yeah, if it swap positions, when you're swapping it, you're moving it.
Yeah.
If you're teleporting it somewhere else, you're moving it. Like if you're shifting it, like through the shift mechanic, then you're moving it. So when the gruff says when it moves, that means anytime that anything moves it.
It was a good goat.
It is a good old Darby.
Darby.
But yeah, so we're gonna be probably cracking that, trying it out, giving you a review
I
on
can't
that.
wait
Just
to
that
do a review on
expansion
that.
at least.
That's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
So thank you from the people that made Gruff, because you gave us stuff that no one else has, and that's pretty awesome of you guys. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So on top of all the stuff we got at PAX, we do have other games that we haven't done reviews for yet. So we have
Shadespire. Oh my god.
Shadespire. We've been playing nonstop. We have Dragonfire. We have Twilight Imperium.
We
Can't wait
have
to play Dragonfire.
Massive Darkness, Sword and Sorcery, Tomb of Annihilation. New Imperial Assault expansion came out.
I just picked up Sentient.
Sentient is an awesome game. I just picked up. Oh, we have Flip Ships.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flip ships.
That coconut game.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
got
yeah.
the coconut game. Oh, all right, hold up. So we have this coconut game.
Nobody can hear you. You're not even.
We have a coconut game. So this coconut game is called Coconuts, and you basically take monkeys and use them as catapults to shoot coconuts into cups. It essentially looks like you're flinging shit at each other.
Monkeys
Looks
normally
like,
do.
Looks like a monkey version of beer pong, honestly.
That's what I.
It says
That's what I
load,
said when I
aim,
played
and
it.
shoot.
So you just fill those coconuts with Kahlua, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. That's gonna be the new beer pong.
Oh
That's,
my
that's what I'm
God.
hoping for. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to get
So,
good with the
this
aiming a little
This
bit.
game Coconuts
Yeah.
was put out by Dive Dice, and it was created by Walter Schneider.
Schneider, I like it.
Mayday put it out too, as well as Korea. There's a lot of companies involved in this game.
Probably
Hidden
different.
Gem.
Probably the different asset productions.
With the physics, they had to get it down just right.
Had to get it real good. Had to make sure the monkey could
They
fling.
had to contact
not
some
just break his arms off.
some ex-Soviet Russian scientists
Yeah.
in order to figure out how these monkeys actually
Yeah,
throw
we
these
have
coconuts.
that game. We have Dragonfire. We have TI4. We have Massive Darkness. We have Tomb of
Did
Annihilation.
we say Clank? Oh no, Clank in Space actually just came out.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
a
we have to
review
do
on Clank in Space.
Betrayal at Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, Betrayal at Baldur's Gate is outstanding. Sword and Sorcery. There's a
Sword and
lot that we
Sorcery,
have
yeah.
to do.
We're gonna be pounding these out.
Yeah, we're going to be giving you guys a lot of content in the upcoming weeks.
By the way, did we mention Shadespire? Because I love this game so much.
He does love it.
Oh, it's so good.
You know why he's talking about Shadespire so much?
Because he hasn't won a game yet.
And he hasn't gotten the PAX.
And he
Not
hasn't
a
done
one.
it. Nope, and he didn't
I
go
haven't
to
won
PAX.
a game yet. I
So-
will though.
I
have
though.
I have to figure out how to build my
So
deck.
we're going to do the smart thing. We're going to end this podcast by shunning Joe for not going to PAX and essentially being useless to the group. There he
Yeah,
goes,
worst.
crying his eyes out.
Give me ice cream. What, ice cream?
Please, for the love of God, send Joe ice cream so he can feel
I'm
some
really
sense
happy
of
you
reason
don't have
in the
to.
world.
I'm really happy you don't have to see his face right now.
Yeah,
It's quite horrifying.
literally horrendous. He kind of looks like the
Yeah.
fat vampire from Blade.
Kind of like Nosferatu if you gain 200 pounds.
He looks like an Italian version of Nosferatu.
Hey, I'm gonna drink your blood. How you doing?
How you doing? Let me suck your blood.
How you doing? I'm
doing?
gonna suck your blood.
You
and
got
you're
any
gonna-
blood? How you doing?
You want to come in my trunk? Huh? It's nice.
How
It's
you
very
doing? I
spacious.
suck your blood and get some calamari on the way
Joe,
home.
Joe looks kind of like a thumb if it just grew legs and started walking around. That's what Joe looks like.
Yeah, it's like a thumb sprouted hair.
If you took like a normal person, just cut off their neck Attach their head to their shoulders.
That's so
It's kind of like
sad.
what it looks like.
If you want a good reference for what my neck looks like,
It doesn't look like anything.
well, it doesn't look like anything, but I'm not as
Non-existent.
jacked, but I could be if I wanted to.
Joe,
But Corpse Grinder from the band Campbell Corpse, the guy has no neck because he literally headbanged his neck off. But that's what my neck looks like. But his is just like 3 times thicker.
Joe essentially looks like a Matryoshka doll that was covered in Elmer's glue and thrown into the garbage at a barbershop.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like just that egg-shaped being.
I am Professor Eggman.
No, all right. So with that, we're ending this.
It's like Dr. Robotnik without any
Be-
cool mustache.
Or anything cool in general.
Or literally just anything cool.
So be on the lookout for all these reviews. We had a great time at PAX. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us banter about PAX and Kaiju and Joe's useless existence.
Ice cream.
Nice.
All right, so one last time for the podcast. I'm Anthony,
I'm Rob.
I'm Saron.
I am Joe.
and we're the Meeple People signing out.
Bye.
So long.
Toodaloo.
So long there, Bowser.